Hi, this is Arizona estate planning attorney Richard Keat. My son and I, Richard C. Keat, who's also an Arizona estate planning attorney, we prepare wills and trusts and estate plans for our clients because we want them to protect their most valuable assets, their loved ones. So what I'm going to do now is show you the contents of our estate plan when somebody hires us to prepare an estate plan with a revocable living trust. Next is your last will and testament. And this is the document that only has one purpose, and that's to say that if you die in any assets remain in your name, then your personal representative named in your will do a probate, and the only thing that happens in the probate is the asset gets transferred into the trust. One of the documents that we prepare for our clients who have minor children under age 18, if they so desire, is a guardian form. In other words, if you have children under age 18, you can tell us that you want to designate one or more people to become the guardians who raise your minor children until they're age 18. So there's basically, the first question we would ask is, does your guardian live close? Because if your guardian lives in Phoenix and you live in Phoenix, that means if something happens to you, your guardian's going to quickly be able to take care of your children. However, if you live in Phoenix and your guardian lives in New Jersey, it's going to be a while until your guardian can get here to take care of your minor children. So in that case, you have the option of telling us you want us to prepare a short-term guardian. We would do a long-term guardian that names the people in New Jersey as your guardians for the minors, but we would also do another document for short-term guardians that names somebody close to your home who can take over and manage the children until the long-term guardians are able to come to your area and take care of your minor children. Another document that we give to people who want to have it is where they can designate who they never want to raise their children. I mean, if you have somebody, say a family member that you would absolutely never want to raise your child or your minor children, tell us, and then we'll prepare a letter for you or you and your spouse to sign if you're married that says, we never want Homer Simpson to raise any of our children because Homer's an alcoholic or Homer's a drug user or whatever reason you want. So we create a letter like that that you can sign and give that to your long-term guardians so that if they're ever challenged in court, if Homer challenges the long-term guardians and Homer's trying to be a guardian, the long-term guardians can give that letter that tells the court that you never want Homer Simpson to be involved with your kids. Yeah, if you have minor children under age 18, we would also ask if you want to appoint somebody to be the conservator of the assets that belong to the minor children. Now, it may be that your minor children would not have any assets if you were to die or if you and your wife were to die if you're married. I mean, because if your assets are in the trust, then those assets are not going to go out right to their minor children. But if you have minor children that maybe own assets for some other reason or from some other source, then you can tell us who you want to be in charge of the assets that are owned by your minor children until the minor becomes age 18. At that time, the minor child automatically has control of their assets. But if there are some people that you need to manage assets that currently belong to your minor children, that's when we prepare this document that names the conservator of your minor children's assets. We also prepare a living will. That's a document that's instructions from you to the doctors that if you're being kept alive by a machine and you're brain dead, you want the doctors to pull the plug. So it takes that decision out of the hands of your loved ones, because sometimes that can be, a very tough decision for your loved one to have to make. Because think of it this way: what if somebody asks you, do I pull the plug on your loved one or not? What are you going to do? I mean, that can be very stressful mentally, because do you want to live the rest of your life knowing that you're the one that caused your loved one to die because you said pull the plug? So the living will takes this decision out of the hands of your loved ones, and it's your decision and your instructions to the doctor to pull the plug if you're brain dead being kept alive by a machine.